The best way to build any business is word of mouth. A friend telling a friend. That's a fact. You can't beat it. And that's all we're doing. But they call that crazy. But those same people believe that letting a little talking lizard sell auto insurance. Oh, that's a good ad right there. Yeah, let's spend millions of dollars on this talking gecko. Hey, let's bring in some cavemen. They think that makes sense. Billboards, telemarketers, door knockers, TV ads will never replace a friend going to a friend.
Right on.
Now, here's the neat deal. Here's what we've learned. Is once they actually make that switch, once they try the service, they're the most loyal customers in the industry. You understand we have the longest retention? We have the best system. But it's tough. And the reason it's tough is because people are telling you it won't work. You can't do that. I know a guy got in that deal, went sterile.
What?
I actually had someone tell me that. I can't beat them up too bad. That's the same way. I told my best friend no for 9 months. Let me prove my point. They always say no, N-O, because they don't know, K-N-O-W. I like doing that part so you know I can spell. We got a few guests here. If you're a guest, could someone help me that's a guest? Raise your hand if you're a guest in the room. Guest? Jessica, what's your name? Everybody say, hi, Ronnie. Hi, Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm going to ask you a simple question. If I gave you $10,000 cash money, would you jump out of an airplane without a parachute? Ronnie said no, y'all. Ronnie, what if I gave you $20,000 cash money? Would you jump out of an airplane without a parachute? You sure? Now, Ronnie, you don't know all the information. The airplane's still sitting on the ground.
That's good.
They always say no because they don't know. Now, I can't hide the fact. You ain't never going to have a lot of eggs unless you get a lot of chickens. And that's the hard part about this. Most people are turned off by multi-level. I don't want to recruit. I don't want to have to sell to my friends and family. I don't want to, and I get that. That's the way I was. But hear me. There are people right now looking for a way to pay their bills.
Yep.
There are folks who are worried about how they're going to take care of that credit card, how they're going to pay that mortgage, how they're going to put those kids through school. They're praying for something. They just don't know this is it. And your job is to get them to look. Don't let them say no until they know. I promise you, though, there ain't none of your friends and family sitting at home tonight praying, dear God, have one of my friends bring an electric pyramid to me. They ain't saying that. So when you go and try to explain it to them, they most naturally think you've lost your mind. They most naturally think you're crazy. I would submit to you the hard part is telling who's crazy and who ain't. Guy goes walking in the room and there's somebody hanging from the ceiling. He looks up at him and goes, what are you doing? The guy just hung there and looked at him. Over in the corners, the guy saw him on a piece of wood with a handsaw. He walks up over and taps him on the shoulder and says, hey, what's that guy doing? The guy saw him stop, looked up and goes, he's crazy. He thinks he's a light bulb. Went back to sawing. The guy said, well, don't you think we ought to get him down before he falls and hurts himself? The guy saw him and stopped and went, and what? Saw in the dark? The hard part's telling who's crazy and who ain't. Early on, I had a guy ask me, he said, are you still going to that happy to be alive, we all doing well, going to get rich meeting? Like that's a bad deal. I said, yeah, I am. Are you still going to that? I hate to be there, want to shoot everybody around me, work deal? They call us crazy to come out on a Tuesday night and decide we want better. We're going to do something different. They call us crazy. I would submit to you it's crazy to get up before daylight, to go somewhere you don't want to be, around people you can't stand, doing something that you're sick of. Hey, if you sit in that little cubicle thinking, I could shoot him. That's crazy right there. That's crazy. It's crazy letting someone else decide what you're worth.
Yeah.
When you promote, when you work. Listen, I ain't bragging. And I know we focus on the money. Hear me. All money does is magnify. It don't make you better. It don't make you worse. If you're a drunk and you get money, you're just drinking better liquor. Money will buy you a bed, but it won't give you sleep. Money will buy a house, but it don't make it a home. Money will buy you the best clock, but it won't give you a moment's more time. Money will bring acquaintances, but not true friends. It can buy some toys, but not real contentment. It ain't the money. It's the options, the lifestyle. Deciding if you get up, when you get up. How many of you got a alarm clock by your bed? Raise your hand. You got an alarm. How many of you wouldn't raise your hand no matter what I said? You know, I find it amazing they put a little button on there called a snooze button. And people are actually hitting that button and stealing their life away 9 minutes at a time. How many of you hit that snooze button? Come on. How many of you? 2 snoozers. You hit it twice. You know it's a scientific fact. It's been proven. When you're done sleeping, you'll wake up. Wouldn't you like to try that? I'm going to sleep till I get up. Now, I submit to you, this ain't always fun. It ain't always easy. When people spit on you and kick you and tell you it won't work, you can't do that. You're crazy. You're going to jail or hell 1. That's never worked. I've heard it all. The difference? The reason the leaders are in this room is they didn't quit. Now let's talk about what it is that defines not quitting. There are some of you sitting here tonight. You've been here the last couple of meetings. You went to the convention. You're on the Coaching Cowboy conference call, but you quit. Because you see, you're not setting appointments. You're not showing a plan. Plugging into the meetings is important. Those are the 3 things that the #1 money earner says you have to do. And I totally agree with it. But if you ain't setting appointments, if you ain't getting this information in front of people, then you ain't working. And the only way you can build your business is tell a few, who tell a few, who tell a few, who in spite of you does it. You see, I used to argue with people. I'd go up to them and say, let's get you started, let's get you going. They'd go, oh no, you got to be a salesman to do this, and I can't sell. And I try to explain that to you how it's not sales, and they can do. I don't do that anymore. Whatever they tell me, I go, you're right. You're right. Let's go find the 3 best salesmen you know. I don't have time to do this. You're right. Let's go find the 3 people you know got a lot of time. I ain't got enough credibility to do this. I could tell by talking to you. Let's go find the 3 most credible people you see. It ain't about you. It ain't about them. It's what you start. So how do you get it started? I'll tell you in closing. You just talk to people. You just tell some folks. One of the most successful young men I've ever worked with, I heard him a-coming before I saw him. Yeah, he was kind of jangling. You see, they had pierced this ear 4 times. They had pierced this ear 5 times. He had 1 in his nostril, 1 in each eyebrow, and he had a little pointy deal in his lip. When he would talk, it would wiggle. I remember thinking, when he's 65 years old, he ain't going to be able to keep milk in his mouth. So I just looked at him and I said, did they catch the guy that did that to you? I mean, neighbor, he looked like he fell face forward into a tackle box. He looked at me and he said, I did it to myself. I said, why are you talking funny? He said, I got 2 of them in my tongue.
Oh.
I said, oh man, that had to hurt. He said, not as bad as this one. So we started talking about tattoos and piercing, alternative lifestyle. I just started visiting and listening, and all of a sudden he said, what do you do? I got real